Hey, hey.
Hey, we are back in full
We
effect.
are back,
Yes, we're back in
and
full effect.
it's been a minute. It's
Yes, it
been a
has.
minute.
Welcome
So, hey,
back.
y'all.
Hey,
Um, it's it's hot here in Vegas. we're
still
still in triple.
diabolical.
We're still in triple digits, and that's what we're dealing with. So, shout out to everybody out there that actually has a fall and is able to put a hoodie on because we have yet to experience that one yet.
So
So,
jealous. So
so
jealous.
jealous. I just wish it would be nice.
Me too.
Um, so I did want to just mention like yesterday was the was 7th year anniversary of the 1 October shooting. And I cannot believe it's been 7 years, number one.
I
But
know. It seemed like it just happened just yesterday. It really
just
does.
yesterday, and the fact that people that attended there, or people that were EMT or emergency responders, like people still have PTSD from all this. So
Oh
we want to
yeah.
keep all of them in our thoughts and prayers, and for anyone else out there. But it's crazy that, along with the deaths we've had, the Kenny Matumbo, um, Pete Rose,
Pete
who I didn't even
Rose.
realize lived in Las Vegas until you said mentioned that, because I
Yes.
was like, the Clark County Coroner's Office. What? Yeah.
Yeah. He was a Vegas resident. Been here for
Your
years.
birthday month is sure starting off with a whole bang.
Right. Right. Into
Libras in
sleeping
here just take
season.
Libras are in here just taking taking
Right. Man.
taking heads.
Yeah.
Taking heads. Yeah,
Ah,
I don't know. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I don't
So
either.
Vegas has been in the news a lot for sports recently, which is wild. And it's not necessarily because of the play. Well, kind of, but there's a lot of we've got Raiders, our aces, UNLV in the news. We got to start off with your Raiders, Mo, because of course, just in the last few days, all of a sudden we're hearing Devontae Adams request trade. Devontae Adams is trying to get out. Devontae Adams not happy. And coach has nothing to say about it. He actually, when you sent me a video where you just called him by his number, 17, and he's all right. Like, he didn't even mention his
Mm-hmm,
name.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of people talking. We're hearing about Jets, Saints, Steelers. Um, what do you
Cowboys,
what do
Chiefs.
you have to say about all this?
Well, first of all, it's crazy that there are prop bets out there that you can actually bet on where he's gonna go or where he's gonna land.
Hello,
Yeah, prop bets
Jets
are
is the
pretty
favorite
wild.
right now.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Jets. Yeah, I see that. So that's a fun thing to play as far as like where you think Devontae's gonna land. Is he gonna go reunite again with his bestie Derek Carr? Or is he going to go
Right.
back with his main guy Aaron Rodgers, who always targets him on plays? So I don't know. I mean, this has been a rumor for the last 2 seasons. After Derek Carr left, after Josh McDaniels, we got AOC Aiden O'Connell as quarterback. There were times where we had, who could forget the infamous throwing of the helmet on the sidelines of frustration and all of the nonverbal things that you've seen Devontae Adams react to, and the rumors had already been circulating that, is he wanting to be traded? Does he not want to be here? What's going on? And now I think whatever the straw was that broke the camel's back, here we are. Now, I will say this, and I think we talked about this, and I'll just say the general audience. We didn't do right by Devontae when we got him. That was he was probably one of the best receivers at that time.
Yeah.
He's still ranked nationally in the league as number 10, and some polling numbers will say he's number 10. Some will say he's top like 12 or whatever. But he was one of our best that we've had, and unfortunately, it just did not work out the Raider way. Here's the other side of that. He is an 11-year season wide receiver. I think his best years were definitely with Aaron Rodgers because, he comes from having an elite quarterback target him. You cannot have that when we have Aiden O'Connell as our quarterback. Cannot have that when we have Garner Minshew as our quarterback. But even when you do have those quarterbacks and they get lucky with the pass to Devontae, what does he do? He doesn't catch the ball. He will make excuses saying, oh, well, I'm not used to getting targeted. So it's not something that I normally get, but it's also the fact that people have read Devontae's number. And when it comes to the Raiders, we don't have a solid line like Green Bay does to protect him. So he's always double teamed. He's always looked at as a third option play when we're on offense. It's either
Right.
run, tight end, then maybe Devontae if he gets open. Times that he does get open, yes, he's made some great, fabulous catches. But I bet you if you did a YouTube short of the best of Devontae Adams catches in Raider history,
It
it'll be
would not
probably
be
about
long.
5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Compared to
Well,
what he had in his best plays in Green
you
Bay.
got rid of his quarterback, who still wasn't
Yeah,
really
that was
feeding
his
him to
best
begin
piece.
with. But then you didn't even bring in a suitable quarterback to try and toss.
Right. Absolutely right.
He was even on a podcast talking about how he wanted Jaden Daniels, or he wanted Michael Penix. Like, you could have definitely got Michael Penix had you just made a move, but no.
I mean, we honestly should have, and I don't know why Atlanta got him and we didn't do the right thing with that, because it's kind of strange that he's over there anyway when Kirk Cousins is doing Kirk Cousins things. But nor here nor there. The other problem with Devontae that he never got hit. I've seen videos where he really literally goes in. I've never been laid down on the ground. I've never been hit like as many times as I've been hit playing for the Raiders. I don't get hit, that kind of thing. So he's always had this persona that he is this guy that you protect. He is the star. He's the number one and all of that. And not to mention is 65 million. That's now 35 million cap is, what it is. But
and I think his payout this year is in the teen millions. Next year it's supposed to be, I think it was 36, and then the following year was 36.
Something like that. But
so someone's gonna have to take that on.
But this is a guy where you just throw it to Devontae. And Aaron Rodgers has said that. You guys want to win, just throw the ball to Devontae. That's what he walked in with the expectation. Well, it doesn't work like that in the Raider organization. It obviously didn't work out with this coach. So we shall see.
We got the teams looking for him, though. Cordell would like him to be a Steeler. Of course, we already knew that longtime Oakland fan who's probably or Oakland resident native, Dame, has been going through it. His A's are gone, his Raiders are gone. Now they're trying to get rid of. And this is what that was crazy, is they asked for a second round pick. They're open to trades for one second round pick, and they said some kind of compensation. I feel he is in his 11th year, but I just feel a second round pick just seems here's some dust.
It could be definitely insulting. I mean, you think you'd want to negotiate for a first rounder at least, But again, who's to say that second round pick is not a bad pick? I mean, I want to know what the other additional pieces come with this trade. Who do we get if we take him over? If he goes to the Saints, who's coming from the Saints to us?
Are we going to get coming from the Jets?
Or the Jets? Who are we getting? Are we getting Sauce Gardner? Are we getting Garrett Wilson?
Absolutely
are we trading him for Garrett Wilson? I mean, what are we doing?
You're going to get Brees Hall. I'm cool with that. A single point for me in fantasy football.
Listen, if we get Garrett Wilson, I'll take that. What are we doing? If he goes to KC,
Russell Wilson would be a better option for you guys, because really he's not going to get played in Pittsburgh, I don't think. I mean, Justin Fields is slated to play again this Sunday, so who knows? But yeah, so the controversy is out there. We're going to be waiting to see. Plus, they already announced that he's unlikely to play this Sunday because of a hamstring issue. So now he's injured.
That's what they listed him as. That's the basic terminology. They listed him as inactive.
Now he's injured.
Hamstring, and that was what it was last week. He was inactive due to hamstring. It was the same thing. So, Antonio Pierce said after that horrible loss against the Panthers, he says, we got players on here that are thinking about business. But guess what? We can think about business decisions too. We can make business decisions too. And I think from that statement alone, to him liking SI's post about other options and Devontae Adams, I think that just got it going, got the ball rolling. But I wish him well. It's unfortunate, but I will say for Raider fans, we cannot buy current roster jerseys for anyone. You better get just a legendary
get you an old school Bo
jersey.
Jackson,
Yeah, you gotta go old school. You gotta get a Marcus Allen. You gotta get a Howie Long. You gotta get, you gotta get the Bows, and all of our former players that stayed the longevity of Raiders and that are now retired. And Tim Brown, you gotta get, Chuck Woodson. Those are the jerseys you have to go after, because to own a Josh Jacobs, to own a Devontae Adams, to own a Derek Carr, to own all of these, they're no longer with us.
It's tough.
And every time you invest in one, like say if we get a Zamir White,
just wear black and silver. That's all you gotta do. Just wear black and silver.
Black and silver.
Get a hat. Get a Raiders hat. That's all you need.
Get a hat. Because this jersey current roster thing ain't working. I mean, I got a Jonathan Abrams jersey tee. Where am I wearing that to? You got me for Christmas a Carter Ruggs sweatshirt that I can't even wear. You see where I'm going with this? This is crazy.
Halloween maybe or something. I don't know.
This is insane. Like you can't even make this up. So now it's another hanging in the rafters, Devontae Adams. So
maybe it's that, what was it? The Chiefs curse with the flag that's buried underneath the stadium. Like maybe you're just forever.
It could possibly
forever
be.
Cursed. It
possibly could be, but I know there are a lot of people excited about this, but I don't know how you can be excited about somebody that's 31 years old when you've got so much young talent in the wide receiver game that are killing it. And not for nothing, I mean, it would take a great quarterback to get up to Devontae, but people have figured him out. So it's the same thing with the Travis Kelce. He gets double teamed, he's useless. What do you want in a tight, like they've figured out systems of players and they've looked at their routes and they look at their game and they studied them. I don't know how much successful he'll be on another team. Wish him the best, like I said, but this was a long time coming and I'm not shook or upset or anything about this. This is kind of one of those things we probably expected to happen.
And I know who else isn't really shook or upset. It's the UNLV football fans because, of course, we heard about a week and a half ago, this huge story comes. The previous quarterback, Max Luca, he decided he wanted to enter the transfer portal after a 3-0 start for the UNLV. They were 3-0. They're currently 4-0. Of course, we'll get to that in a second. His NIL agent basically said that he was verbally promised a minimum of $100,000 for an NIL deal to transfer to UNLV. Once he got there, he was paid like $3,000 a month for 4 months, which would be $12,000. Very like understepping what he was verbally promised. But if we haven't learned anything in common sense life, if it's not on paper,
it's not happening. It did not happen.
I'm not gonna go hang out with somebody and they be like, "Hey, I'm gonna get you courtside seats. Just hit me up." No, like I need you to be able to. I don't want it verbally. I want to see them. I want to see that you have them. I want to see that something's signed. Like I'm not taking no one's word for nothing. Absolutely not.
Right.
So he's leaving for the transfer portal along with one of the running backs who wasn't playing a ton. But then and then the backup, Williams, he ends up becoming the starter last Saturday. They beat Fresno State 59-14.
Mollywopped them.
Right. UNLV is now officially ranked for the first time ever in the top 25 at number 25. They take on Syracuse this Friday at home at 6 p.m. Now they're pretty much like, well, what? I mean, bye.
So we got a game at Allegiant at 6 and the Aces game at 6:30.
So traffic is about to be ridiculous.
Man, oh man, oh man. What to do on a Friday night?
I mean, here you go. It's not going to be as crazy as a Raiders game because we know the UNLV attendance has still not made it there yet. But it's going to be busier anyway. That's still an additional amount of fans that are going to be parking at Mandalay or parking in the Leeds. It's going to be a hot mess. I'm not even sure.
And I think it will be a large turnout just because eyes are on them now, specifically to see if this is not a fluke from their last week and to prove this quarterback
maybe a
wrong.
larger turnout.
I think it'll be a large turnout for sure. I can bank on that just for the simple fact that we want to see if this backup is really consistent and can beat a Syracuse team like this. If this is not a fluke and this is a message for that quarterback, being overpromised and underdelivered,
What's up, Natalie? She said, "Oh, why isn't she texting me back?" Yeah, because there's a show right now. So
yes, there is. Sorry,
we decided to have one this week. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
What's up, Heather? How are you? Thanks for joining. Anyone else out there? We appreciate
both game, Heather. Sorry about that with the Chiefs. That was pretty close. I was trying to see if
there's been a lot of. Listen, I'm not able to hit parlays very well this season. The first week was cool, but since then it's like there's always that one that you swear is it, and it's completely wrong. So
yeah.
Hugadore Von Miller suspended for the next 4 games because of personal conduct policy. This is in response to the allegations from last November when he assaulted his pregnant girlfriend. No charges were filed in that case. He said that it was closed back in July, but the NFL investigated the matter. Not sure what they found, but they're still like, no. Sorry, sir. So,
do these players understand that within their contracts there's also a code of conduct clause, and what that entails, a code of conduct for the company that you're working for, the team that you're working for? Okay, carry on. So yeah, your suspension.
I mean, you would think, but again, this isn't a normal, company for them, they think, but it is, and you still have to be able to carry yourself outside of your position in the community with some level of respect,
Right.
We got to get into Vegas sports, and of course, the hot topic now is our Las Vegas Aces.
Yes.
Aces are now down. We beat the Storm. We beat the Storm.
Yes.
Made it into the semifinals. Congratulations.
Yes.
We had A'ja Wilson won the MVP for her 3rd time.
Unanimous.
Yes. Unanimously. So whoever that little 4th place voter was, they definitely changed their story around.
Yeah, somebody sent them a message like, what are you doing?
That part. However, we end up going to New York to play them because we are a 4 seed now. New York's won, has been one. They've had a dynamic year all season. We haven't been able to beat them this season. We head to New York and we lose both games yesterday and on Sunday. We are down 0-2, coming back from an 0-2 deficit. Has never happened in WNBA postseason history.
Ooh.
Becky, during her post-game interview last night, mentioned that they don't have the edge. This is why it's hard to three-peat. The whole league's been pissed off and has had their heads for the last year. They've been back-to-back champs. But then she mentioned about how players are in commercials and this and that and are freaking celebrities, and you get distracted. So do you think she's actually targeting out to the ladies, like, you're doing a lot, you're doing too much? Or is it more so other people are now hating on them because they're out there? We've seen Kelsey on so many commercials. We've seen A'ja on a ton of commercials.
But we've seen A'ja with other players in that commercial, Sabrina Ionescu, and other players in that little tiny car for CarMax. We've seen Kelsey do various podcast interviews. I mean, listen, this is the kind of smoke you get when you're a back-to-back team and probably hated on. I will give it that. I don't think it's a distraction from celebrity. I think what the problem is when you have 4 of your players go off to Paris to play in Olympic Games and not really coming off of an all-star break and not really getting the chance to probably rest, and they're playing over 30 minutes in each game, and they're not resting the players. She doesn't dig deep in her bench to pull other people.
She barely touches the bench.
Too busy on the starting 5 squad. I think that plays more of a factor. I don't think it's a celebrity distraction. I think the thing of it is New York is a better team. That's just a simple fact. We do not have an effective big. We have not had one all season. We've had Chelsea Gray come back part of the season, and she even played her best game in this series last night. For them to fall by 4, I think it was not so much the fault of them, but the fault of the refs and the calls and just a lot of different stuff going on. It wasn't bad playing whatsoever, but you don't have.
Well, no, they had like 12 turnovers, which led to
in the first half. I remember you were saying they had 4
so
in the first half.
That was ridiculous. Like, half of those points, we still would have won a game. I mean, the thing is that the call with Kelsey Plum at the end, going out of bounds, that was sketchy. But that was. We shouldn't be searching for 2 points. We should be up by 4, 6, or more. Like, that should have been the end of the game. We should have been up, and we weren't. We're letting them get ahead. I mean, the Liberty had numerous layups with no one in the paint. There was no aces in the paint when these layups are happening. Like, there shouldn't be these type of plays.
And not for nothing, early on she rested A'ja for quite some time. And why was that?
Yeah, it was like 2 to 3 minutes at the end of the first, the beginning of the second. Listen, I don't know. All I know is we never saw Meg. We never saw Kate Martin. We still have yet to see Queen. So
we get this center off of waivers and we
Even
don't
for
play
a
her.
minute, even for a minute or two, let her get in there, get her feet wet. We need a body. We need a body that can try and do something. We're not looking for someone to take the ball down the court and score. We just need a body on defense, really. Half the time I'm looking at the girls, like I saw Alicia Clark a couple times, like in the middle of the lane, like just wasn't sure who her man was. So they're not talking and they're not communicating. I don't understand. But yeah, it wasn't a good look. So
I don't know what to expect on Friday. I'm hoping for a win with us. I think we can definitely win, but there's got to be a serious conversation on rotation and looking deep down the bench. And I think Becky's so focused on her five that she doesn't look down and say, oh, I still have this person, or I have this person, or I'm aware I have this person, but because they're a rookie, this is too big of a thing to play them at this point. And, you know, which leads us to the conclusion, too, that she possibly could not be playing Kate Martin for the rumors of what the Valkyrie is trying to do, of having players pulled from different teams to draft for their roster.
Well, there's going to be, we'll talk about the draft in a little bit, too, but they get to hold 6 players or protect 6 players. But the fact of the matter is you could still be playing. Like, there could still be, you need players. It's evident that some of these players need at least a couple minutes of rest. But yeah, so Friday, 6:30.
I mean, these girls are shooting their lights out. Who's going to answer for Sabrina, Brianna, and Jonquel, and Courtney Van Lissue when they're all shooting consistent threes? Outer limit.
Well, that's the thing is that we have to have our 4 main play like they're both all having the best game of their lives. Like everybody has to be playing on 10. Like
that's the thing. It's always one or the other. Kelsey didn't have the best game last night, but Jackie and Chelsea.
But Jackie had it the day before, yeah.
Right, and then it beats Jackie, Kelsey, and Asia. But then no.
And Asia's had slow starts in both the first halves of the last 2 games. She didn't play her usual dynamic first half. I mean, she usually gets better in the second, but she was low scoring in the first for those 2 games. So we shall see. Big shout out to the point guard. She is now the number 8 on the all-time playoff 3-point leaders, following names like Taurasi, Becky Hammond, Sue Bird, Maya Moore, Joanna Balliner, Katie Douglas, Christine Tulliver. I mean, she's with some big names. So congrats. She's been doing it for a minute.
Well, yeah, she's a 31-year-old as well. So that's another thing. I mean, the stats are going to be padded, but her performance is like, okay, well.
Well, it isn't like Alicia Clark is like 36, I think, or 34. She's up there too.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is another side of the conversation that we have to think about, because you have to understand, Chelsea Gray 2 years ago when she joined the Aces was averaging 18 points per game. That is not her average this season.
Them legs is different.
Assist leaders. No.
We
got to talk about that. But we'll move on. But I'm just saying there's a lot of factors and things in the offseason I think everybody needs to consider. And this is one of those conversations that we're just pre-having because, this is a juggernaut of a team.
There's going to need to be some changes a little bit. But we do want to look at Chelsea's grandma that came to the game during the storm.
Yes,
look at her. Isn't she adorable? And it was also a cute story to hear about Tiffany Hayes' mom, who had never flown before, who had come into Las Vegas and got to the Seattle Storm game, the one where Tiffany went off into. So that was
shout out to her
really
because
cool.
She's really been stepping up, and she's always steps up.
Listen, she is
really
the spark off the
for us
bench
for this
that is
postseason,
needed,
and maybe needs to start possibly in that position and rotate some.
Yeah, we also got the team with their team picture. AC wore bear claw sneakers.
Cute.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. But also that first game on Sunday had over 900,000 viewers, most viewed WNBA semifinal in 22 years.
I bet.
Yeah, Sundays.
That's about right. And again, you've got one of the best players in the entire league who is a GOAT. And everybody's eyes are going to be on this team.
Well, and you've got this new matchup. You got Brianna, you got Stewie, and you got Asia. Like that's just it's like the new. It's the new. What's the word I'm looking for? It'll come to you later.
But it's like the Lakers trying to see if they three-peat, or any NBA team to see if they can do a three-peat, or your Bulls to do a three-peat. You got a Jordan.
Yeah, it's tough.
Got somebody like that. Can they do it? But it's not fair to her if we don't look at off-season options to build around her. She doesn't deserve
Got
that.
to. She
She's
does.
been consistent this whole season, and they need to do right by her. So,
and I think that's one of the things that she wasn't in the post game for today or last game, I believe. So, I'm sure there's a lot. Like, she's already talked about how hard it is to be Asia Wilson. I can only imagine what she's going through, having to go through losses like this. So
yeah, but it's not on her, and that's the thing. There's nothing she more can do but do what she does. Asia's being Asia, at the end of the day. Yeah. But the rest of the teams, that's where they've got to step it up. Figure something out.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
The Golden Knights are back. It's hockey season again. I feel like it just ended. Me and you got to catch a preseason game over the weekend, last week, which is why we weren't here.
Yes.
And I got to pick up my Noah Hannafine pin.
People were jealous. There are people that had season ticket seats and did not get those pins.
I thought they had,
for whatever reason, they were not giving them out in certain areas. If they're in the lower, I don't know. I had a couple people
maybe like the VIP areas or something. I think
in the VIP areas they didn't have them. I think they had to go downstairs and get their pin.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Also, VGK now has an official app.
Oh, awesome.
So you can download it, of course, on your iPhone or your Droid. The VGK9 Club, of course, we get to see Mavi. He's getting so big, by the way.
He is.
So big. He's so big. But the Golden Knights had a great game last night. I believe it was last night. They won 6-1 up in Colorado.
Yeah, they're playing Avalanche. So they're playing Avalanche again tonight. Or yeah, I think it's tonight.
Tomorrow,
yeah, right. Okay, I was like, there's a game this week against them.
Yeah. So that'll be good. And then listen, you guys, I swear, Mo, 10/26. Just mark the date in the calendar because we're gonna hang out. The last Lights regular season game is on.
Oh yeah, we gotta go.
But check this out. They are currently 4th in the Western Conference standings. They are on their way to make their playoff berth. Okay, they just won last Saturday versus Phoenix. They have 3 more games of the regular season. One is this Saturday against Orange County, although it's still 100 degrees. But they play away. They come back to their last regular home season game on 10/26. So, and it's going to be cooler. The end of October for some reason always drops 30 degrees. So this is going to be it. But can you imagine?
Is this the inaugural season with the Jose Batista ownership?
Yes.
Look at what the changes bring. Look at what the changes bring.
I know.
This is what we have been wanting to see. I am so proud of these Lights.
I know. It's amazing. And I feel bad that I haven't been there all year.
We're definitely going to do the top tier fan experience. We're going to sit out
on
the deck.
We're going to spend that little money and get that nice little
spot. Yes. I'm with that.
It's great to see this. We've been going to Lights games for how long now? And it's always just like, oh man, well, but this, and not even like barely making the cusp, like we're up there. Like it's happening. So.
Oh no, it's happening. These guys are the real deal.
Big shout out to Lights for this. I was just like, it just made me like all happy inside.
Yes.
So
we have to get our Real Cashman back on because I do miss Tommy also quite a bit. And I want to know his take as far as how these Lights.
We gotta talk to Tommy. Get
what he's been up to. Yeah, we gotta reach out to him.
Yeah, get the mayor on.
About our mayor of Cashman.
I know. We do want to talk a little more of the WNBA. Of course, you know that the Lynx head coach, Cheryl Reeve, won Coach of the Year and also Basketball Executive of the Year. Some people were thinking that Asia was going to get the Defensive Player of the Year. She did not. Nikki Collier got it. So there's that.
Yeah.
We know Caitlin Clark got Rookie of the Year. Dejanay Carrington, most improved Player of the Year. So big congrats to all those ladies.
But I'm not mad at Nafisa Collier getting that Defensive Player of the Year, to be quite honest with you. Look at what the Lynx are doing. I mean, they went to Sun Country and split the series. So it's not for nothing that this is a slouch pick. This is absolutely what we need to see.
It's still deserving. So
very deserving. Because again, we don't have the defensive edge. We have not put up no defense this regular season. Remember what we always say when we're watching these games? Where's the defense? Where's the defense? Well,
instead we're just turning the ball over.
That's where it's at.
And speaking of the Lynx, they did tie up their series with the Suns. They lost the first one. They tied it up. Just listen, and they were getting choppy. Like Mabry is doing so much for the Sun, but she was going after I think McBride at one point they got into it. There was a couple of different. I mean, these games are. I love to see the enthusiasm. I love to see like the banter, the shit talk, and all that. It's just it looks
I
good.
love the excitement and I
enjoy it.
love the draw of attention it's getting for everyone. You know what I mean? And shout out to
Mm-hmm.
Justin Jefferson being at that game to check out those links. I mean, that's huge for him to be there in his NFL season going to a Lynx game and cheering these girls on. So big ups to that.
That was huge. And then can we also talk about the fans that be in New York, man? I swear it's like a who's who. You had Spike Lee talking with Kelsey Plum, and they were going back and forth pre-game, and then during the game, Alicia Keys pulls up to the Liberty game and goes in the post room. You had Carmelo Anthony and his son were there. Jason Sudeikis, of course, is always going to be there. Gail
And
King
Colin
was in the
Kaepernick
house.
was there. I was
Colin
like,
Kaepernick
Cat
was there.
was there.
That's
Wow.
crazy. It's a party in Brooklyn, man. It's
It
a
is.
whole. I better see some people in the seats on Friday in Vegas. Like they need to make this happen. We need to have our Gucci row back because I'm tired of just seeing Floyd Mayweather and that's it. Like I don't.
Well, we had Quavo the last couple of times, which was very great to see him. But we need to have our common, our Gucci row in full effect. You know, and I honestly thought Steph Curry really was going to come to that first game when he was in town for the Raiders Panthers game. But yeah. And I know NBA, they've got to get ready for their season and it's media day and all that good stuff. So they're getting ready.
I mean, they're this weekend, so maybe they'll get a chance to step out Friday.
Yeah, I want to see LeBron and Bronny. I want to see some action. I want to see some people. I want to see some of the New Yorkers fly in. I want to see that look.
We want to see what you got.
I want to see Ellie fly here and be in the building as well.
No, I want to see Buckets with a brand new routine and kicking up during. Here's the deal: we have a game Friday, and no halftime performance has been named yet.
Wonder who we're gonna get.
If I see anybody twirling sticks or on a single bite, what do they call the unicycles? Listen, this is not halftime for the WNBA playoffs. We need acts. We need celebrity. We need musicians.
I don't want to see Jabberwockies again. I don't want to see Blue Man again. No offense, but we've been there, done that. I will see again
is if you want to give the High Rollers a full halftime performance, I will take that. That's the one thing I will take and let Buckets get into the routine. That would be it. That's all I want.
That would be cool too. That would be cool. But we've got so many.
I mean, we ain't seen Lil Jon. We ain't seen none of these Vegas residents.
Right, the residents of Wu-Tang ain't in there, but they be for New York, so that would be a mess. We can't do that. So
yeah, Boys to Men. I mean, who else is out here right now? Somebody, come on.
We need what we get at the Raiders.
We need it.
Those three guys are showing up over there. Why didn't I show up to the Aces game?
Yeah. And we gotta listen. Cameron Brink's injured, but this girl just got engaged to her boyfriend from college. He's a crew member, Ben Felter. They're gonna have the tallest Barbie and Ken kids in the world. Like
yes, and my male fans of Cameron have unfollowed her out of spite.
Oh no!
Very upset. The guy crush told me today. I said, "Did you hear about Cameron Brink getting engaged?" She's like, "Yeah, I had followed her a while back when she started posting that guy." I was like, "You have followed her?" He's like, "Yeah, so I don't follow her anymore." She's got a guy.
Ouch.
She didn't broke hearts out there, breaking hearts out. But congratulations.
Congratulations there. And then today, the Atlanta Dream. Okay, so first of all, LA, they split ways with Kurt Miller, so he's no longer the coach there after 2 seasons. Derica Hamby seemed to be really upset over it, and she made some tweets and just really expressed her thankfulness for him and being a coach. Today, the Atlanta Dream fired Tanisha Wright after her 2 seasons.
And don't forget the guy got rid of Teaspoon, so she was out. That was the same.
And she's been out.
So now we've got the Dream coach being fired today. I was like, what the heck is going on?
It's a wild ride.
Wild.
And it'll be interesting to see because like you said, we'll talk about the draft. So of course we know that the Valkyries from the Golden State Valkyries are going to be based out of the Golden State Warriors arena. Their team does begin during 2025, but they're going to have their expansion draft December 6th, which will be on ESPN. So after the season ends and before December 6th, each team has to be able to write down all of their players on roster, whether they're free agents or unrestricted or whatever the case may be. They get to protect 6 players. Mm-hmm. After that, it's a free for all. But the Valkyrie can only choose one from each team. So it's not like we're going to lose 4 or 5, but we'll lose one for sure. And then through the course
I don't know. I mean, Kelsey Plum is free agent too. She has a sign.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. But the Valkyries only pick one. Now, whatever moves happen in free agency, that's completely different. But it's going to be wild to see. Of course, we're going to have an additional 12 spots open up because we'll see that the draft's going to be big this year too for the ladies. So, but just keep an eye. December 6th is when this is happening on ESPN. I think
it's gonna be Kate Martin from our squad. I honestly do. To say that. I don't want her to go, but I mean, I would love to have her as our team, but a player. But I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like the Tiff AC thing. Like I'm leaning toward. I love AC. I love her, but I feel like if I had to choose, I'd want Tiff. If Tiff's staying another year.
Yeah, I would want Tiff, but I think AC will go either in the free agency thing or a trade off or something like that.
Well, I'm saying like the 6th that the Aces protect.
Yeah, like right. Yeah. Oh, you're saying over Tiffany. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah.
And I feel like Kate could be something. I feel like Kate just fits in good. You know what I mean?
She does when she can play, but I don't know if she or will she
play. That's what
it's not fair to her if she can go on a new expansion team and play and be a star. You know what I mean? So, and they go young, so we got to look at that too. Like AC and Tiffany, I don't think they would be an option anyway. I don't think they would choose that. I think they go more down the row of Kirsten Bell or Kate Martin.
Kia, Kirsten, Canal.
I'm not even mentioning Kia. I'm not mentioning that. Maybe even Megan Gustafson they probably look at too. I'm not mentioning Kia.
Oh man. Hey, we do need to address football. Listen, there are now 2 teams that are undefeated.
You had one job. One.
2 teams undefeated. Kansas City Chiefs, Minnesota Vikings.
And I'm not mad.
I don't know if anybody else can fill me on this, but I have James Cook, so I'm always like, my issue with Josh Allen is that some days Josh Allen wants to take the ball all himself for the whole game, and I get things like this where it's James Cook has got 5 points. Breece Hall, I also have Breece Hall on another team, 3.8 points, and then there's the Mark Andrews managers who thought, hey, I'm drafting Mark Andrews. He's like one of the best tight ends in the league, and this man is still not getting any points.
It's taking some time. I left some players on this thing after I looked at it that I could have played this past week, and I didn't play it thinking.
It's just so much happening. There's so much happening that you didn't realize. Let me just segue real quick because it's been a while since I've had a video from Benchwarmer Brand, and so we've got to discuss this week's best. So here you go.
5 biggest fantasy football busts of week 4. And would you look at that? 2 of them are New York Jets. Man, the last time I saw 2 Jets cause this much chaos and destruction. Oh, come on. You made a 9/11 joke last week. Oh, I'm sorry, Breece. I figured you'd be happy to be associated with something explosive for once because God knows you haven't been. It's kind of hard to be explosive when it's pouring rain all game. What did you expect? Yeah, man, it's definitely the weather's fault that you got outproduced by all your teammates. I forgot that everyone other than you and Breece has waterproof cleats. And gloves. And attitudes. Tell me, how's that chemistry with Rodgers coming along? Yeah, I think we're getting really close. Should only take a couple more weeks, max. Got it. Don't worry. I'm sure you'll figure it out before the Jets trade for Devontae Adams and Rodgers never looks your way again. Oh, and back to Breece for a second. 2.8 points as a consensus top 5 pick means you are without a doubt the best of the week. Now for someone who actually plays in New York, Josh Allen. Josh, do you enjoy being the sole reason that fantasy teams win or lose every week? Because you either go for 30 plus or less than 10. It's infuriating. All or nothing, baby. Okay, well, consider doing nothing a little bit less. Oh, before we move on, I just want to update everyone on tight end Katraz. As a result of his week 4 goose egg, Officer Pitts has been relieved of his duties and thrown in jail himself. Well, it was fun while it lasted. Don't drop the soap, kid. I don't like it in here. Mark, if anyone should be worried about drops, it's you, so pipe down. All right, the last 2 busts are sponsored by Baby Gap because they are both tiny, tiny boys. Kyler Murray. As time goes on, it makes more and more sense why you were drafted by the Oakland Athletics. Because both of you seem to really love letting your fans down and abandoning them. And last but not least, Devon Achane. I thought you'd still be able to produce without Tua. But turns out, just like the rest of the Dolphins roster, your value is also tied to a guy who's 1 hit away from joining the cast of VeggieTales. All right, dishonorable mentions this week go to Patrick Mahomes, Bijan Robinson, James Cook, Travis Etienne, Ramondre Stevenson, J.K. Dobbins, Najee Harris, Devin Singletary, Zamir White, Tyreek Hill, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Zay Flowers, Jalen Waddle, Amari Cooper, and Calvin Ridley. All right, that'll do it for week 4. See you guys next week.
I literally have like half that list between the two of my teams.
Yeah, and see, I have Garrett Wilson, and this is what I was going to segue into saying that if Devontae goes to the Jets, it's the funniest thing ever, because it's interesting to me that you do have an Aaron Rodgers and he's not tagging this kid, and it's something just very odd about that. But he covered in my thing. He gave me a few little dinky points. It was enough for me to edge on into a win.
The thing is that we want those
more.
high ceilings. We want those high ceilings with these players, and they're
we
not
those
getting
30 and 28 and stuff that we're normally seeing. Hey, not to mention these defenses and our kickers. What is going on with these kickers? They're not as consistent either. These defensive teams are not as defensive. I'm minus -2 on Cincinnati.
The only kicker doing anything is that misogynistic one out in Kansas.
Yeah. Whose name we don't speak of the Handmaids.
We don't speak of him.
So I didn't even think about him. But yeah, I'm thinking about the ones I have that are more relevant to the situation. And for some odd reason, they just aren't. It's strange time. And not for nothing, thank you, Amari Cooper, because I feel like this past Sunday with the Raiders game, you played for us. Thank you very much for all the ball drops, for all the turnovers. We appreciate
it. Good win against
Yes,
Browns,
we'll take it. Thank you, Amari Cooper, because you were definitely a Raider that day.
We got to speak, because I know if Natalie's watching, she's going to ask me why I didn't talk about it. But we got to talk about Jaden Daniels, the rookie sensation playing for the Commanders.
Amazing.
He was rookie of the week, I think a week ago. He was rookie or NFC player, offensive player like last week. He has run touchdowns in. He's tossed touchdowns to offensive linemen as well as his targets. Shout out to Cliff
Kingsbury. This guy lost his job over in Arizona, is now with the Washington Commanders, get all his flowers, game ball, being this majestic guy, not even a head coach. Give it up to Cliff Kingsbury. Give it up to them and their GM and all of them picking this Jaden Daniels. I just want to hear Cliff speak as a quarterback. I mean, this kid has fun as a quarterback out there playing. He's dancing.
He's doing it.
He's doing it. Just like doing his thing, and it's like it's all fun for me.
He's got these Commanders fans feeling as though this is their year.
We got to get our DC
and you know what's sad is that Chicago has to be kicking themselves in the butt. Like they could have had him.
1,000%.
They chose the guy with the pain in nails who didn't want to do any combine, didn't want to do any workouts for teams. They had their eye on Caleb. I think some of us knew what Caleb was about. And Caleb has even more targets than Jalen, and it's just not happening still.
Yeah. Top rookie bust, but man, give it up to the karmic effect of.
I know. That was
Cardinals,
good.
Like go up to
I also briefly have to speak about my game on Monday night, although I loved having a Monday night game.
Which was a great game.
I'm a Lions fan. Like I do like the Lions. I enjoy it ever since the Hard Knocks. I've been on board with them. Like I wanted them to beat the Niners so bad this year. I feel like they'll probably have a bigger chance to make it to the NFC division championship prior to, I love them, but not when they play us. And we beat them the last 2 years at their house. This year did not go as well, but it's literally a shootout. Like I have Geno Smith in my fantasy. I'd never seen him have 40-some points. He had 40-something points. Unbelievable. For any of the Geno naysayers, he had 395 yards. It was kind of sad that we had so much productivity on offense and still lost the game, but it was 42-29. Jared Goff makes NFL history with a perfect game, 18 for 18. Not one drop ball, not one interception.
Not incomplete, no sack, no interception, no nothing.
Nothing.
Geno Smith threw an interception though.
Yeah. Well, the issue I think too was that we had a great DK had a great reception and a ran for extra yards, then pushed it so hard to try to get extra yards, he fumbled the ball. Big mistake. Like you already had the first down. You see you're past the first down. Just get down. Like why are we looking for extra yards and you can't hold on to the ball? You can't hold on to one ball as you're trying to like push through 3 people with one arm. It just But the Seahawks, even down 3 starting defensive linemen and losing one of our backfield mid-game, still played well-ish. We aren't where we want to
listen,
be.
the spread was 42.5 on the over, and it went well over that. One
way
team
beyond. It's always beyond.
And that's the thing. You guys are scoring machines. I don't know if it's just the defense on both sides are equally matched of allowing passes to just go through or what. But you guys got some massive throwers. You've got speedsters on your team, especially with Seahawks. This is my first time watching your game this season since it started. I was watching this game.
Yeah.
Because you guys are always simultaneously on with the Raiders with the 1:00 games. But this is the first time watching it, and I'm seeing your running backs and stuff are track stars. They're fast, they're quick.
Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet, getting some work in there. Mm-hmm.
Listen, and I'm not discredited. We should have got Geno Smith. That's where I'm kicking myself. I'm like, why didn't we get
now everybody want to love Geno Smith. Oh,
yeah, we should have had him. I'm like, dang, why didn't we get Geno Smith? I look at Andy Dalton having our number. Like, why didn't we have Andy Dalton? But Andy Dalton always has a rating.
Andy Dalton coming through for the Panthers. Yeah. He's getting 40-some points the last 2 games. I'm like, do I need to make a substitution real quick?
Right. What are we doing here? What's going on?
Come on. What are we doing? Yeah. The Niners did get back Kittle and Debo. Ayuk still is touchdownless. So
Mac's still resting, right?
All that money and nothing yet. Christian McCaffrey has Achilles tendonitis in both legs. However,
Dad said he's overworking it out.
Overcompensating on the other leg.
Wow.
But yeah, so we don't have a timeline on him. No. But here's the deal. Look at the other injuries. Austin Eckler, Adam Thielen, Raheem Mostert. One of the Dolphins linebackers is out for the season. And he was out for the season. I think he ended this season early last year, too, with an injury. So we're going on 5, and we're already having to fill our IRs up and having to go into the waiver pool, which has nothing.
Nothing out there. I'm about to say, you're stuck with what you got, honestly. There's nobody on waiver wires to even pick up if you wanted to.
What's sick is I was talking with somebody this weekend, and they kept saying, "Oh yeah, look, I'm picking up blah blah blah," and I'm like, "How are they still available in your league?" And he was like, "Oh, it's 10-person league," and I was like, "Oh, wow, that makes sense. You have 10 people. When you have a 12-person league, you can't even find.
No, you can't find anybody.
It's nothing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, college football real quick. The Bama and the Georgia game. Georgia beat them, or Bama beat them at home. They went crazy.
Georgia to win
but that comeback, they were down. Georgia had a 28-0 comeback and fell short.
Right. It was too late. Just too late.
It was too late. I saw this thing on one of the social medias that Bama had like over 100-some recruits at that game. There was also like 17 NFL teams that brought scouts to watch their quarterback as well as a few other players, but it was insane there. 12 million viewers for that game.
The Nick Saban legacy lives on.
Well, they say that, Alabama football is bigger than the NFL,
I mean, what else do they have to do in Alabama? That is it.
It's crazy. A little bit more close to home for me. Gonzaga is actually joining the Pac-12, which is odd because they don't have a football team. So it'll be interesting. I mean, for basketball programs, that's probably great, but I don't see how it's doing much for the football because they don't have one. But just so everybody knows, it's a big game this weekend. It's a rematch of the championship in Seattle on Saturday, October 5th, 4:30 p.m. Michigan brings it to Husky Stadium. It is sold out. It's also going to be a purple out game, so everything is going to be purple. And I haven't seen sold out on a Husky game in a while, so I'm just really
going to be a great game.
Intense. Hopefully our kicker can make his kicks this weekend, because last weekend we lost because of his 3 missed field goals out of 4.
Well, there was an NFL team that lost by a field goal too that missed, and that was the Jets. So
there's been a lot of it. There's been a lot of it.
Happened. Yeah.
There's been a lot of it. Hey, we're also in playoff time. Just so you know, the brackets have been updated some. Detroit, thank you, Detroit Tigers, for beating the Astros.
We'll take that.
Yeah, we'll take that. We'll face off against
And the Royals too.
Cleveland.
Royals did their thing too. Let's go.
Yep, the Royals did. They beat the Orioles,
And I think San Diego beat the Braves tonight, didn't they?
I believe they were up. I was trying to check the update, but
yeah, they won. I know they won last night, and it was a scoreless run for Atlanta. So that makes me very nervous as a Dodger fan because the Padres are the juggernauts in that region for us. So
let me see.
And it's going to be interesting because the question is Showtime going to pitch, because he hasn't pitched all season? The rumors are, is he going to pitch in postseason games, or is he going to just be our hitter?
Oh, so no, the Brewers came back in the 8th inning and are forcing a third game wild card versus the Mets tomorrow.
Oh, really? Yeah, because the Mets.
Yes.
What happened with the Padres? What happened with that game?
I think the Padre one might still be on.
I think it just started. Yeah, it might. It was.
I don't see it. I know they were up against the Braves. I just don't know by how much or what inning it was. So if anybody's out there and is watching the game or can check, because for some reason,
let me know, because this is the nervous time for me as a Dodger fan to go up against these guys. Juan Soto is that guy, and I have friends in town from San Diego. We're talking about this, and the Dodgers Padres series is going to be quite compelling. That's going to be that tough one for us.
Oh, here we go. Padres are up 5-2, top of the 8th. Yeah.
Well, so we got time. There still could be hits. Come on. I didn't think I'd be saying this. Come on, Braves.
Good luck with that. We also saw the end to the Oakland A's stadium where the fans came. I made a tweet, I think, that it was like more fans have come during the 3 last home games of their I guess their stadium than they've come over the last 3 years. Like
they were able to take stuff too. People were taking seats out of the stands and all kinds of different stuff, taking it apart. So they were going to show up.
They were taking the seat. My question is, are they allowed to leave with the seat? How far do they get?
Especially with a 3-seater, I can see 1 seat, come on through, what are we going to do? But they can get away with. What are they going to do with the rest of that ballpark? I mean, what's the plan? I
have so many questions still.
I do too.
But then here's what's crazy is that I'm not sure if it was Fanatics or like NFL or MLB.com shop, but this was a new A's hat that sold out.
I don't like that with the S on there. That's crazy. I don't know if that's real. That's AI.
I don't know. It was like out of stock. I mean,
yeah. Is that real?
I don't know. It looks, usually with AI, there's something wrong with it, right? Like maybe there wouldn't be a sticker, or maybe the sticker, I don't know. It just seemed too real. I'll have to look into it. I'll have to get on my Fanatics.
I think that's a lot of wasted energy and time for the A's.
I know. We're also going to see Ohtani for his first time in postseason. Okay, Dodgers.
And I wonder, like I said, the question remains: is he going to pitch or not? Like I need to know.
Well, what I hear is that not unless they make it into like the later round. So if we're getting into like
I wouldn't do it this early against the Padres. Unless we absolutely positively, because the problem is this. So he can do this, he can't do this. That's the injury, or that's the concern. So I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see.
What's up, Arlington? Big shout out.
Arlington.
Yes. And what's up, Carrie?
Hey, shout out to the Buccaneers. You guys have the Tom Brady effect over the weekend.
Man,
Tom Brady's in the building with Baker Mayfield.
Tom Brady's been out there giving it.
Y'all thing. Tom Brady shows up in the building. Shoot, I need to come over our way.
Absolutely.
You better get the Aces game on Friday. How about that? Come to the Raiders game on Sunday. Oh, wait, we're away on that game in Denver. But come to the Aces game on Friday, Tom. We're going to need you. We need that effect.
It's Friday. He doesn't have a gig on Friday.
Yeah, it's not like like we know his schedule. But what you got to do? What do you have to do?
He's announcing on Sunday, but you're not going to be that busy for a couple hours on Friday. And Natalie would love it.
Y'all friends now. Come check out your friend.
Another update, though, is that they are officially changing the jerseys for baseball back to the old ones. all
Yeah,
that
that material didn't
see-throughness,
work.
all the small letters, small numbers, whatever,
Yeah.
is going back. The only catch is that they have to order for all teams. They're going to have all of the gray road uniforms ready for everybody by spring training, but
Good.
their home jerseys and everything else are going to be worked into throughout the 2025 season. Everybody will be back set up on 2000. I think as well, do they not have the old jerseys from last year that they can just start wearing?
I mean, as a fan, we have the road gray Dodger jersey, which are fire, but they don't have them in their locker rooms or in their, they're not set up for it. But they need to bring the road grays back because those are fire.
Yeah. And they're also changing the All-Star games so that the hometown jerseys are back as well. So that'll be nice.
We'll take that. Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, that's good.
The NBA, Karl Anthony Towns headed to the New York Knicks. Natalie's Knicks get Karl Anthony Towns.
And Minnesota gets DiVincenzo and Julius Randle. Okay, let's talk about it. So Karl Anthony Towns is not a full-time basketball player. He's always consistently hurt. So it doesn't really matter if he goes to New York or not, because I've had Karl Anthony Towns on my fantasy league, and it's totally useless for me until the second half of the season. So with Karl Anthony Towns, he's very injury prone. So I don't know what you're going to get in this Knicks situation. I think you keep somebody like Rudy Gobert. Why? But you keep him. And you've got DiVincenzo, who shoots threes, and he's probably effective off the bench. That'll help Anthony Edwards about. I feel like this is a better win for Minnesota than the Knicks. I think the Minnesota won in this little trade-off. Because Cat ain't never there.
But Minnesota got Gobert.
Gobert's mid, but the thing of it is you have a Julius Randle, you have a DiVincenzo, you got Anthony Edwards, and who else they're going to pick up, later in the season, mid-trades. You never.
Yeah. Oh, bye, Mo. We're talking basketball. I'm going to play a video since Mo cut off, and we'll come back. This is video. So if you all know, Sydney Colson from the Las Vegas Aces got her own shoe deal. And if you've ever watched one of those dating shows when they have the balloons and pop them, oh, you're back? Oh, no. If you get to the show and they're popping balloons because they don't want to talk to you, this was her version of that to announce her show.
All right, Sydney. Well, it's good to have you here. Tell everybody what you do.
I play in the WNBA for the... I didn't even say a team yet. Well, I also co-star in a comedy called The Sid and TP Show about two WNBA bench warmers who strive to become the face of the league despite the fact that nobody asked them to. So you don't actually play. Oh, you the one only scored 2 points in the final last year when we was talking cash. Yeah, I remember you. Y'all know what? Why is he even here? Oh, I have a signature shoe coming out. So that's really exciting. I want to hear more about your shoe. Yeah, sure. I mean, I partnered with a company called Creative Control, and they felt like my authenticity and sense of humor and connection to my community transcend any stat sheet. And so they were excited to work with me on a signature shoe. So they like that you don't play. That's so amazing. You should be so proud. Thanks. I'm definitely proud. Hey, if you ever switch leagues, get at me. For real, stop playing.
Yeah, Sydney Colson. When the one curly wig, I was like, I almost didn't even realize that was her.
I like the hair swip and the look with the eyebrow raise. That was hilarious. Yeah, sorry I tapped out on my Karl Anthony Towns rant. My mom called me. I'm like, Ma! And I'm on do not disturb, but she can supersede it if she calls me. So it's they get through. They get the breakthrough.
That's right. You know Natalie is already in the chat about her knickerbockers. So
yeah, good luck with it. I mean, listen, knock on wood. I hope the man don't get hurt, but he gets hurt every
I mean, the Knicks are already a top contender anyway. They were already that last year, but you're gonna miss a couple key pieces, and now you'll get another one. So we'll see how that works. I don't know.
Listen, like I said, I feel like Minnesota won in this situation. They really did.
We also had training camp has started. There was media day on Monday.
Yeah.
We're seeing folks in places we don't usually see them. Of course, you got
the fact that I forgot Chris Paul Paul got traded to the Spurs was the first
Yes.
shocker. The second one was the greatest photo ever of them against Wemby. And it's
Right.
like father and son.
Right. And then you got the real father and son.
Father and son.
You know? Oh, it's wild. But what was shocking was that Jimmy Butler didn't come up with any kind of disguise or hairdo for this year. He decided to be just regular Jimmy Butler for this season.
Oh, good. Don't keep it. Yeah, change it up. We don't want to see like what hairstyle will be next. You did that running. Yeah. So.
And shout out to Natalie. She sent this over. Carlton Towns actually is opening a youth basketball facility in the DR to honor his late mother, which is
I think that's
fantastic.
Absolutely. I think that is absolutely fantastic. I think that is just great. And you always want to, the rep of Afro-Latinos is there. Like, let's do it.
You know how it goes.
Listen, I don't know what the Knicks are going to do with this guy. But anyway, flowers given, roses given, because you've lost a fellow Bull player, and he's also played for the Heat, and he has announced his retirement. So how are you feeling about
who retired? Oh, yeah,
D-Rose.
Yeah, no. I mean, I enjoyed him. I wish he could have played longer for the Bulls. I appreciated his game. Obviously, he's like one of those players where if injuries didn't affect a lot of the time. But I'm happy for him. And you got to know when to say when, Yeah,
LeBron.
I mean, he wanted this, and now he's getting it. So if you go to T-Mobile in October for the preseason game, you'll probably get to see them play together, but you probably will never see them play together in real life. So
no, you'll see Melo trying to do this kind of stuff.
My thing was I got an alert that Lonzo Ball was trying to be ready for the first game of the season. I'm like, we haven't seen you for 3 years. Are you still a Chicago Bull? I had no idea.
Yeah, what's that look like?
Why?
I forgot about that.
I mean, unless AI. Go ahead.
I don't know. He'd have to be AI producer. Then to see, Caruso over in OKC now, that was a switch up for me. That was like, whoa, that's right. Caruso is in OKC.
That was really wild. And who's the one that's over in? Is it Drummond that's in Philly, or where Drummond went somewhere? I saw his picture. And I was like,
Andre Drummond. I'm not sure. I didn't look into him. I don't know.
There was a lot, and I wanted to get all the pictures, but it was just so many pictures because many people. Like, I almost want to play fantasy basketball just so I can help myself learn who went where. That's it. Like, play for a month and be done.
Yeah, good luck with that, because that's an everyday thing.
No.
Man.
I can't do it.
I'm stepping away from it this season. I'm not doing it. I got just football. I'm so happy.
I absolutely can't do it.
This again. Yeah.
Hey, I've got before we head out, we just want to appreciate everybody for tapping in today. If you're just catching the tail end, feel free to share it. Go to our YouTube, subscribe to Girl Chat Sports, hit us on all social medias at Girl Chat Sports on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere else. There's 2 girl powers I saw. So there's this girl Lael. For all you spinners or bike enthusiasts, I don't want to hear nothing no more. Lael Wilcox broke the women's world record for fastest cycle around the globe.
Wow.
Finishing an 18,000-mile ride in 3 months. She went from Chicago to New York, then flew to Portugal, because of course she can't bike across the water. Flew to Portugal, crossed into Europe, went to Georgia, cycled through Australia, New Zealand. During the winter, she cycled through there, and then ended up in Anchorage and back to Chicago. 18,000
And how old is this
miles.
lovely young lady?
Honestly, I don't even know her age. It didn't say, but she looks extremely youthful. And I'm sorry, I'm not even biking through the city, let alone 18,000 miles.
You see, I struggle just riding a bike down the strip with y'all. Like, more power to her.
I forgot.
Good luck to her. I was on the struggle bike.
And then I got one more. Peyton Gibbs. She was diagnosed with being on the autism spectrum as a child, as a toddler. And then around 9 years old, she fell in love with football. Her dad's a coach at a high school. Cut to 2022. She's able to join her dad, who's a defensive coordinator for a high school in Naples, Florida. And she was helping him be on the sidelines. 2023, they told her she couldn't be on the sidelines no more. And her dad was like so brokenhearted, he had to break it to her. Well, in 2023, later in the college football season, NC State's head coach came in and they were hosting Clemson, I believe, and let her be as an honorary coach for that game. Well, now cut to this season, Peyton is officially back coaching with her father and her dad, with her father by his side at Naples Prep High School in Florida. And here is Peyton.
My dream is to be a coach in college football first, and then if I really excel, then the NFL is a go.
Go Peyton. I love
Go
it.
Peyton. Go
I
Peyton.
love it. I love this.
Yeah, I know. And what's crazy is I have a girlfriend I think she lives right near Naples. So next time I visit, I want to visit now during high school football season so I can go check this girl out. Like I want to see
right. Absolutely.
I want to see Peyton. I got to see Peyton in action. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that's the show for today. We appreciate you guys tapping in. It's good to see everybody. It's good to see you, Mo. And
always, Mo.
Hey, maybe we'll catch you next week. Maybe we won't.
No, we gotta cover next week. We may have a special guest on next week.
I know. I'm just kidding. I want to leave them guessing, Mo. We gotta leave them guessing.
True. Will we or won't we? Yeah, but we've got guests coming up. We've got guests we want to roll in and join the chat with us, ladies. So thank you guys.
Absolutely. So get to our YouTube, subscribe, say hi, give us a message, send us a DM, slide in the DMs, and say what's up. And we'll catch you next week. All right.
We are out.
Bye. Oh, how about now?